guys, what's happening? Happy Wednesday. It's another Gastlecast interview series, and we're here with a very special person. It's Stephen Duckett from Heroes Hideout. Welcome, Stephen. We're glad to have you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. This is great. So it's interesting. We were talking before this live. A couple people actually reached out to me talking about Heroes Hideout before this interview, which kind of gave this, I guess this connection was built to do this interview based off of those two conversations. So a couple of friends of mine, I guess we have mutual friends, and one of those friends is actually an employee of yours.
Yeah, so Gary, who's doing all our pop drop stuff, you probably see all his posts on all the pages and everything of the annoying posters that he posts every day. So.
Yeah, no, no. It was cool that he's posting all that stuff because, how else is people going to know who you are and all that kind of jazz? We need to see some posts from you.
Right, absolutely.
So, we've talked to some other businesses. Most of them actually operate mostly online, but you're an actual brick and mortar.
Yeah, so we started off with a little small brick and mortar in the town I live in, which is tiny. Right outside of Albany, and then it just went from there.
So you started with one. Now, how many are you up to today?
So we have one full-time one. That's in Albany. That's in it's in a mall location. And then we have a seasonal one in Lake George for anybody that's familiar with upstate New York. That runs probably 3-4 months a year. That's new. We opened it about 8 weeks ago.
Okay.
And then we're adding a third location in October in Western Mass.
That's awesome. Yeah, because we were talking. I talked to somebody not too long ago who was telling me about your brick and mortar store. Is it overwhelming to open all of these different brick and mortars? You're opening one after the other. Is it becoming tough for you, or are you starting to be able to handle? I guess is it easy to handle, or is it like overtaking you? How is all that going?
Well, I can say this: the transition in Albany, because we did during COVID, we went into a bigger store. We went from like an 1,800 square foot store to a 3,000 square foot store. We did the whole move during the COVID shutdown. So,
oh my God,
I learned what not to do on that store. The first store, I learned what to do. So, yeah, I mean, we're getting it down. We're starting to learn the little things. My biggest thing is I try to create an experience. So when you go into my Albany store, like we have a Lightning McQueen replica in the middle of the store. We'll have like life-size ETs.
Wow, that's awesome.
Baby Groot, stuff like that, photo opportunities. I try to just make it more than just like, hey, you're in and out, buying a pop, whatever.
Sure.
I want you to remember being there. I want you to enjoy it.
That's pretty cool. So you said a life-size Lightning McQueen?
No. So Lightning McQueen is a replica.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It's for photo ops. Yeah,
gotcha.
We have. Oddly, my wife owns a company, a travel business. So, oddly enough, we had one. Got a story, but yeah, we have that and a tomato. So we took Lightning McQueen.
That's awesome.
Have engine, so
that's pretty cool. So, where did the name Heroes Hideout come from? Because I think that's actually a really cool name.
So when we were brainstorming the names for the store, I was having a tough time. I'll be honest. I'm creative, but I couldn't get the store down. And then one day my wife was like, why don't you like, it's like a hideout. Like, why don't we do it like we're the Heroes Hideout? And then it stuck.
That's awesome.
That's a pretty cool name. I kind of dig that. It's almost like what do they call it for the Justice League? It's like I can't remember what their base is called. But when I thought about it, I was like, oh, you could call the Justice League's base the Heroes Hideout. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's the concept.
So were you a collector before you started, all this business, or were you into toys and all that kind of stuff before?
I have the most boring answer ever. No.
Really?
Yeah. So I never really collected. When I was in high school, I worked at Toys R Us, and I worked at a roller skating rink. So for some reason, I just attached to wrestling figures, selling them on eBay, and then here we are.
So does that mean you're a big wrestling fan even today?
No.
Oh, you're not?
I shouldn't say that. No, I've kind of moved out of the wrestling since I've gotten to the store, and now how involved I am with certain talents and people. I'm just kind of disconnected from wrestling, but I can say I just started collecting my very first line of product.
Okay.
And it's the NECA cartoon turtles.
Yeah. Those are like the most popular thing right now, it seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
good luck. You're in trouble now.
Yep. So,
Should have picked something easier to get.
I thought about the old school stuff, but that's so expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old
It's
school
rough.
stuff is expensive. Now, in your store, do you guys see a lot of old school kind of stuff? Are you selling like all the old retro kind of gear and all that?
Not really. I don't know if Albany is a bad area to buy, but we don't get a lot of the old stuff.
Interesting.
And we don't even sell a lot of the old stuff. It's all new.
Do you
Last 5 years, I would say.
do you find are Funko Pops very popular there?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's probably about 30% of our business. Lake George, it's a little bit more because it's seasonal, so a lot of kids come in and just buy like cheap pops.
Okay.
But yeah, no, the community here is bigger than I even expected.
That's interesting that you were not a toy collector before you got into this. So it's almost as if you're not, how do they say it, where like a drug dealer, he doesn't take from his own stash. It's almost like that for you, I guess.
Okay.
No, I'm saying, but it's like that because I guess you can buy all this stuff and you don't feel tempted to buy it and have it for yourself. It's all centered as a business.
Right. I make that reference all the time in the warehouse. Like when they're all talking, I'm like, we don't try our stash. You know, it's just. But I guess the store is my collection, and then but I'm willing to part with it.
Okay.
A little easier for most people.
Yeah, because the couple of local stores here. I mean, the guys who run those shops are, they're toy collectors through and through, right? They've been doing this for years, and they started with their own collection, and then they realized that later on down the road that they wanted to open their own toy business. So you got it. What even made you get into the NECA Turtles? Was it just the fact that you loved Ninja Turtles as a kid, or like what's the deal there?
100%. I was a big Turtles fan, and it was wrestling for me. So a good 15 years of my life, that's all I was concerned about.
Oh wow!
So that's kind of I would attach that to the store. Like that's why I wanted to get into what I am in now. But yeah, no, it was Turtles and wrestling.
Turtles and wrestling. Yeah, wrestling was something I was into when, I don't know, I think I was like in middle school, and I got really into it. It was like the Attitude Era
Yeah.
with Stone Cold and all that. And then for whatever reason, I was into it for like 2 years and completely dropped out and never turned back to it at all.
There's a lot of fans like that. It's that 98, 99, 2000 timeline.
Yeah.
97. Yeah, that's there's a lot of people come in, they're like, oh, like the good old times. And they'll talk about 97. They're not talking about 87 with like Hogan and Warrior or Macho.
Right. The good old times were in the 90s. Who could believe it?
Right.
So I was going to ask you, do you personally own any Grails? But I would assume not because you don't really collect any toys. But do you have like some high-end Grails in your store now?
Yeah, so we just took a decent collection in, and we have the Boba Fett droids is there. We have possession of the Clockwork Orange Chase.
What?
Yeah. So there's a local collector who got it, and they wanted to do a consignment sale. So we're trying to find a buyer, but it's almost impossible. I mean, it's a tough piece to move.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. I mean, we talked about this before. It's been a while actually, but you could almost buy a used car for the amount that pop goes for.
Oh yeah, you can almost buy a new car.
Yeah, because it goes for what? Is it like price tag of what now? Is it like because back when I looked at it on the app or whatever, it was up around $15,000. Is it more than that now?
Yeah, it's about that. But the tough thing with it is the last time it sold for like 18 at New York Comic Con, and it was like a cash deal. So it's hard because there's no record of it selling. Really, you're going way back and there's only 12 of them. So
sure.
Of the Chase.
That's an interesting piece. So
Yeah.
do you have it like in a vault? Is it locked up?
Yeah, it's in the safe. Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine so. You don't want that thing to get damaged.
Right.
So other toys that you carry in your store, what else do you guys have there? We talked about Funko Pops a bit. We'll get back to a little bit more about Funko Pops. But like, what other kind of toys do you carry?
So we're well known for our wrestling. We're direct with Mattel. We've now, starting at the end of September, we'll start carrying product from Hong Kong from Mattel. So pretty much that's the same process that like Walmart and Target use. We'll take it directly from the factory and we'll take over distribution to the store.
Okay.
Which is a cool feature. It streamlines it and it doesn't allow Mattel to mess it up. And then we got NECA, Marvel Legends, like anything Hasbro. We're starting to get more into pop culture, like T-shirts and cups and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But we're trying not to go down that box lunch and Think Geek line where like you could get a Darth Vader poster. We're trying not to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then yeah, I mean that's pretty much NECA for sure. I don't know if I said that. NECA is a big part of what we do. And Hot Wheels, Greenlight, stuff like that.
NECA is huge these days. With you talked about the Turtles and everything, but even the movie line for the Ninja Turtles is very big. It seems like people are willing to kill each other to obtain these things. NECA, the horror line is really big, and we actually collect some of that horror line. So I'm assuming you have a lot of that kind of stuff too, like the Ultimate figures and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, it's funny. I think I just got Gary into it now.
Yeah.
So,
awesome.
Like a new shipment comes in, and he's in the warehouse, and he's showing his girlfriend. He's like, "Hey, can I get this?" Like,
yeah. No, the NECA figures are really well done for the price point. Because they're not too expensive, and you can sometimes the face sculpts are almost pretty. They're pretty damn accurate.
Yeah, they do an excellent job. I met those guys at a toy show in New Jersey, New Jersey Toy Con. So anybody that's in that Northeast area, it's an excellent show to go to. It's like 2 gymnasiums full of like just vendors that sell old toys.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you don't get a lot of people coming into the store selling you guys stuff, huh? There's not a lot of that going on.
No, it's just Pops. If it's coming in on trade or something like that, it's Pops. And even then, we still have to find the stuff. We're always searching. I mean, you see Gary's post and stuff. We're always looking for new stuff to buy.
So with COVID and everything going on, it seems like there's an influx with people trying to obtain older Funko Pops. It seems like people have a little bit more extra money because they're not out roaming around and going to the movies and dinner and all that kind of jazz. They have all this extra money to spend. Are you seeing a lot of people coming into the store looking for stuff like that right now?
Not really a store. A lot of that stuff sells online. I've noticed, and I think a big part of this, it's the lack of availability to new product from Funko right now.
Sure.
Because we noticed a dip when the San Diego Pops were supposed to come out. The values kind of went down a little bit for a week, and then they went right back up.
Yeah.
And I think it's because people focused on there was a new release.
Sure.
Look at like the Mighty Ducks, for example. Like all that got pushed back with no release date. So there was a lot of product that was supposed to come out in that May, June, July timeline that just never came out. So
do they reach out to you, Funko, and tell you, hey, this stuff is no longer coming out? It's like a long list of stuff that's not happening?
Yeah, it was. We've never had it happen before. It was the first time. There was an email, and then a couple followed afterwards that there was a couple sets that they were just going to push back for a little bit. I'm trying to think what the other ones were. Like ZZ Top got delayed a little bit. I'm trying to think what else it was. There was a couple.
Interesting. Yeah, because I'll be honest, I was very surprised when the Marvel Zombies line started hitting shelves because it was targeted for some time over the summer. And I thought for sure it would be pushed back into like the fall or winter time. And now here we are. They're on the shelves everywhere. It's shocking.
Yeah, there's certain lines they push through. And I think they've gotten a lot better. I mean, I know a lot of people complain about Funko, but they've gotten a lot better about getting the seasonal items to us ahead of time. Because I consider like that Marvel Zombies thing more of like a Halloween product.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
It will sell better around then. But if you remember, was it 2 years ago with the Star Wars holiday stuff? It hit the shelves like the week before Christmas.
Yeah, I know.
And they've gotten a lot better with it.
Which might explain today's Funko drop where they sell all the Halloween Funko Pops way early and in advance.
Yeah, I think they get it. I think they get that part of it now.
Yeah, you're right about that because I remember one year they released the David S. Pumpkins or whatever the hell his name is from Saturday Night Live. They released a 3-pack, and I remember it coming out like 2 days before Halloween. And I remember telling Heather, I was like, if we order this thing, it comes in, we're gonna have to put it away because it's sort of like a Halloween decoration.
Yeah, all of that. It was like the Mickey and Minnie, the spooky Mickey and Minnie. We already have that.
Oh.
What's Halloween? 2 months away?
Yeah.
That's very strange.
Wait a minute. There's a spooky Mickey and Minnie. What are they?
Yeah, Minnie's like a witch, I think. She's on a broom, right?
Yep.
Oh. Why don't I remember
She's like
that?
orange.
Oh,
She
I don't
has, like,
remember
an
that
orange
one.
Outfit.
No, I do not. I do not remember that.
Yes, you do. We talked about it.
Or- Look at Corpse Bride.
Yeah,
To me,
Corpse Bride. Yeah, Corpse Bride's another popular one now.
and I feel like that's a fall line. That's a Halloween line.
Absolutely. And it's funny because like as an example today, they were dropping the Freddy Funko Frankenstein. I saw so many people online today. Oh yeah, I do recognize them. You're right. I saw so many people today basically dropping posts saying, "Hey, I'm looking for the old Freddy Funko Frankensteins because the new one came out today, right?" So, like you just mentioned, the Corpse Bride, that Funko Pop dropped today. What is it? The skeleton? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Now that the skeleton drops, I bet you people who obtain the skeleton are going to try to buy all of the Corpse Bride set now, and that's going to be a popular set.
Yeah, same thing with Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah, well, I was surprised. Edward Scissorhands did not sell out as fast as I thought it would. They actually sat on Funko.com for a while. In fact, they might still be on there.
I don't know if
I mean,
Edward is.
When there's secondary characters, but I'm just talking about referring to like just the line itself. Like the originals are going to probably start selling for higher money now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So you have shops all up there in the northern area. Are you looking to come down south, down this way?
Yeah, it's a part of the plan. I would say, I mean, I'll use your area in particular, the Maryland area. We probably won't see that until 2022 or 2023. But the plan for 2021 is heading south and heading west. So like a Rochester, a Buffalo, Cleveland area, and then New Jersey.
Okay. So so it's going to be a couple years before you start heading this far south.
Yeah, unless something crazy happens. I don't know. Who knows?
Heather's writing me notes here. Somebody mentioned in the chat earlier, there's a question for you. Brian Barrick asked, who is your favorite wrestler? Because we were talking about wrestlers there for a moment.
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Sting. 100%. I was a Sting fan. I was a WCW fan. We had Sting at the shop last winter, and it was awesome to work with him. I sat in the back with him. I don't typically really get too in-depth with the talent when we have them for meet and greets, but Sting was the one guy I sat in the back with him on a chair and just got to know him a little bit.
That's awesome. So how often do you do meet and greets like this?
A lot. So we have an agreement with WWE, so we do WWE talent now, which is something has happened in the last 6 months or so. But with COVID, it got we've been postponing just because
Sure.
we can't do it. So we've had 2 appearances with them, and then we probably did an appearance every 3 weeks or so.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So how does that even work out? How do you work out a deal with WWE like that?
It's hard. I can only say so much, but
Okay.
I had booked an individual that they weren't too happy about me booking.
Oh, gotcha.
And it became we were already talking about doing something like this, and that was my next step. I've had so many people at the shop that I was running out of people to bring in.
Wow.
And it just finally lined up with them, and we finally got something in the books.
That's pretty great. So do they reach out and they say, well, here's a couple of guys that we're going to, we're going to line up on a calendar, or is there a selection kind of, like, how does that even work out?
It's kind of both. So the first one I put my foot down I wanted Adam Cole from NXT. I stuck to it. They tried to give me a couple other people, and I got Adam Cole, and it was super successful. They were happy with it. And then it became, okay, you can handle this kind of talent. Let's go here. And then we booked Alexa Bliss, which got postponed, which is a pretty big one. And then we have Bray Wyatt in September, as long as everything goes well, which, I mean, he's the top of the company right now.
Wow. That's pretty impressive, man, that you're getting big names like that in there. So my assumption is you have lines wrapped around the whole damn store.
Yeah, out the store, down the hallways, outside. If you go back, like, way back into our Facebook page at the old shop, we had like 100, 200 people deep line down the old sidewalk at the shop. And that shop was probably, oh, man, it was like 400 square feet. It was tiny. Mm. And we had Scott Hall and Kevin Nash in there, and it was crazy.
Wow.
So it sounds like you have a big cult following of well, not cult following, but you have a big following of wrestling fans up where you are.
It is a hotbed, the Northeast is especially, but I use it as, all right, let's put the event on, let's price it accordingly, let's not try to take advantage of anybody, let's make a little bit of money on it. If we don't make any money on it, it's free advertising. Because share on Facebook and Instagram.
Sure.
And you can't beat that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So in your local area, are you guys saturated with toy shops, or are you pretty lucky and kind of like one of the only?
There's not really toy shops. There's an older vintage store that's about an hour away for that kind of stuff. But locally, my biggest competitors are like Think Geek, FYE.
Okay.
FYE is out of Albany. That's where their headquarters is. And then I was in a mall with a GameStop, but that's gone. So I just got a Hot Topic, really. That's what I deal with.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, quite frankly, when it comes to me, although like Hot Topic and Box Lunch have exclusive pops, right? So I would go there for those. But when I'm trying to buy, common Funko Pops, I like to go and shop local if I can. So I'm assuming a lot of people think, similarly. That's pretty cool. Do you sell a lot online, you say?
Yeah, so the online business picked up with COVID. It was always a feature we had. We did like a in-store pickup option. That's what we really used it for.
That's awesome.
But since COVID and the pop drops, it's hard to say it was COVID because we weren't doing these giant pop drops that we're doing now. So, but still, both the online business has become like its own entity. Like it has a full-time employee now. It never had that.
Wow.
Ever.
So give us an understanding. You mentioned a big pop drop. What does that mean?
So what we're doing now is we never really focused on it. We would buy collections as they came in. Now what we're doing is we're actually seeking out larger collections, and we're doing a theme drop on like a Tuesday, which will be like this week was animation, and then on Thursday we do a big like whatever. We just throw a bunch of higher end pops together. And so we do 2 drops a week, and we try to keep it fan based too, because it's kind of fun if you know that if you collect animation pops, you can just go right to the animation drop.
Sure. Yeah, that's cool. We actually have a really good question in the chat section right now. Your boy Snowden asked, what would be some exclusives you'd like for your store?
I was close. I was so close. I tried to get the Jake the Snake Roberts repaint done from Funko.
Wow.
I work with Jake a lot, so I would really... That's big picture because I get to do it. Like, I work with him in conventions, so we really were pushing to get one for New York Comic Con this year. And we were going to release it at the 4 big cons of the year, and that was the only place you were going to be able to get them, and they were going to come signed by Jake.
Wow. That's awesome.
That fell through when he decided to go to a competitor and sign a contract. So, that's it.
Well, with Funko Pops, it's my understanding to get your own exclusive that your own pop for your store with sticker, the whole 9 yards. Apparently, you have to buy or sell a certain amount of Funko. Is that true, or are you aware of that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the only way you can get it now, the number's a little loose from what I understand, but it's somewhere around $1 million wholesale.
Oh my God.
Yeah. a lot of these places that get them now are grandfathered in from previous.
Okay.
Before that number went to that high. The Jake deal was something that I was working on with Jake directly, and because he already had the pop, and then my relationship with WWE, we were going to try to get it through, but
Wow, that would have been remarkable. That's too bad that he went and went with somebody else.
Yeah, you got to take your paycheck, right?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's what it's all about, right? The money, money, money.
Right.
So, do you guys set up for a lot of these cons? Like I heard you mention New York Comic Con before. Do you go there and set up a table?
We do. We have a partner with a guy who's up here. We do just autograph signings at New York. New York is a very, very long process and a very long weekend. So we try to just do what we do. Like this year, last year we brought in Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, and that's what we did. We didn't bring any pops. We didn't bring anything else. We just did the meet and greet aspect.
Wow. Yeah. I went to New York Comic Con for one day last year. I went there on Thursday, and I only did it because it was sort of a last-minute thing, and my buddy and we just wanted to experience it. And I can't imagine spending my entire weekend there. I'm going to be honest with you.
It's brutal.
I have no idea how people do it. After one day, I thought for sure my knee was just going to blow out. It was horrible. Love the experience. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the experience. But the amount of lines that you stand in, the amount of people that are in there. And it makes me wonder now, with COVID being, a thing and how relevant it is and that things aren't able to open up, how are conventions going to operate now? Because when I was there, I literally had somebody almost against my chest and against my back trying to move around through various lines and things. And even to get food.
Yeah.
So how does that, how can you even make it work now? I guess you would have to limit how many people can come in or something. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to be able to get around that.
I think we're going to see bigger spaces, and I think we're going to see like time slots and things like that. I mean, that's what we're doing. So like with our meet and greets, we're now giving people like a 15-minute time block to avoid them just hanging out.
Sure. That's good. It's almost like a pass at Disney World where you get like the fast pass or whatever.
Fast pass, yep.
Interesting. That's a pretty good. Yeah, I could see that sort of working. I mean, it's just that there are so many people on top of each other at these cons. I got to tell you something. I miss cons more than I miss anything through this crap. Right? We used to go to there's a con here called Awesome Con.
Yep.
It's in D.C. and we love that one. It's close for us. Literally right around the corner for us to go. And this year it was canceled. Actually, it was pushed to December, and then they finally canceled it. And I just missed the experience of going. Do you get, because you're more of the seller of the toy, you're not necessarily a collector of the toy. Are you super into like the films and movies and TV shows and all that kind of jazz? Like when you go to a con, are you enjoying that experience of being at a con, or is it just all work, no play?
Oh, no, 100%. I enjoy it. I'm a big TV, movie, whatever it is. Also, just the connections and the networking you get at a show. Like,
Sure.
For me personally, like, you can't get that anywhere else. Like, I've met so many people that I work with now because I met them at whatever show.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I can say the same. For the different cons we've gone to, we've made friends. I mean, different from the kind of relationships you're building, I'm sure, but like meeting people in line waiting for, a toy drop or something. In fact, waiting in line for autographs. I've met a bunch of people that I'm friends with to this day. Just the con experience itself is just so awesome.
Right. Absolutely. I agree. I have my feelings about COVID, but I feel like eventually people are going to throw it out the window and they're going to go to shows again if they want to go.
Yeah, I think it just really, I guess it really depends on, how cities or towns or wherever the cons are based, how they're going to handle it. Locally right now, not to get completely off topic, but I just got, it was an email or something I found. It was a post of all of these different businesses who were cited because of not wearing the mask correctly and all that kind of stuff. And it makes me wonder how many of those things does it take, sites or whatever, does it take for one of those businesses to get like completely shut down? It just makes me wonder. It's a kind of the question marks are flying all over the place. Running a con how could somebody even control? I mean, that's like the question, right? So how could you even control something like that? But I noticed somebody in the comment section, your boy Snowden again, he says maybe outdoor cons. Outdoor conventions could work. I mean, quite frankly, if it's a nice day out or a nice weekend, I guess, and you're hopeful, you could have an outdoor con, I guess. Open air.
Yeah, you could see something like that. I mean, that's a big spot you're going to need. But, yeah, and who knows? It might be the direct for at least the next year, 2 years, whatever it is.
Yeah, I hope that something happens and we get our cons back, because I can't live like this, damn it. I just can't. It's I don't have my cons, and I can't go to the movie theater.
And
that's
toy shows.
And toy shows. Those are like my Heather. Those are my 3 favorite things, and I can't do any of them, and it sucks. Hardcore. Are you missing anything because of COVID right now? Is there something that you really want to do that you can't do?
I'm still upset about Black Widow being postponed.
Dude, me too.
And now because of that, we're not getting – I mean, we're supposed to already see Black Widow, and I think this week was the week we were supposed to get, like, the Winter Soldier and the Falcon.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, on Disney Plus.
You know?
Yeah. It sucks big time. These are all things I want.
Wait till there's no TV this fall, because that's when we're going to feel it. There's going to be no new TV, just football.
I know. You know, it's funny that you say that, because Heather and I have already gotten ourselves kind of infused in watching old stuff. So we watch a lot of Netflix nowadays. I don't even watch live television anymore. And I guess I've already kind of prepared myself for the coming months. But the one thing that's really going to stop me dead in my tracks is films not releasing. I did read a couple things like about the Falcon Winter Soldier, that they did pick up filming for that show at least.
Yeah, there's some reshoots too, which I think has something to do with Black Widow being postponed. Tells me that we might see that before the Black Widow. I don't know.
Interesting.
Oh,
that's interesting.
I like your train of thought.
Yeah, I like where you're going with that.
But then, like, we don't even know, like, when the other stuff's coming out.
Right. Yeah, I know. And, you know, because we're supposed to get the Eternals this year as well. So I think it was supposed to come out sometime in the fall time. And I guess now we're not getting that either. It's such a mess. Right. Our good pal Jamar actually in the comment section said The Boys Season 2 is coming out soon. So that's one thing true. I can be excited for. I am excited about that.
So a day later, then what?
Yeah, exactly. Right after you binge it is over. So what Funko Pops have you noticed recently what are trending at your store? Do you notice anything being overly popular?
Well, Lake George, it's straight up Baby Yoda all day. It's crazy how much Baby Yoda leaves that store. But that's families on vacation. That's a little different. I would say right now, you know what I'm having a hard time getting is Lord of the Rings right now.
Really?
And I don't know why that is. I normally have tons of Lord of the Rings. I don't have any right now. It's all gone.
That's interesting. Because maybe Lord of the Rings is having like sort of a comeback, because it's already been, how long has it been? Like almost 20 years since the original one came out.
Yeah, I think it's more that there's been nothing new.
Yeah.
So now, like, because like we were talking about earlier, people are starting to scoop up the older stuff.
Sure.
I can't get it. In the collections I've gotten, no Lord of the Rings.
Somebody in the comment section said Avatar and Korra are trending. So I guess the Avatar cartoon and Korra, they're actually trending on Netflix right now. They're very popular. They have Funko Pops, and they seem to be pretty popular these days as well. They had a Avatar, I think, chase at Hot Topic that people were going crazy about.
Well, people go crazy over any kind of chase.
I don't know. Remember Five Nights at Freddy's, Heather? Do you remember that?
Yeah, but that's different.
I've got a couple that are pretty rough. There's some chases out there that are a little rough.
Yeah, well, there's like one that's just complete garbage. We've talked about this before. It's the Jasmine chase, where her chase is literally holding an apple. It's the only difference between her and like the common.
Did you see the new Haunted Mansion chase?
Yeah.
The difference is the tombstone.
Really?
That's it.
Okay.
I had to stare at it. I was like, they sent me the same pop. And then I looked at it, and then they're like, no, the tombstone's bigger. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
So, do you have kids?
My first I just had 6 months ago.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, because if I had a toy store, I have a 9-year-old. My 9-year-old would be going absolutely bonkers over a toy store.
No, he would claim it as his own. It wouldn't be a store anymore.
More or
it would
less.
be his bedroom.
More or less, yeah. More or less.
Yeah, I'm curious, because I'm curious if she'll just be like, oh, that's Dad's toy store. You know, and then
Right.
she'll just not want a part of it because it's a part of our life all the time.
Sure.
Or she'll be like, hey, can you order me the new whatever? Sure.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because my son has become very numb to toys and stuff. We go to the store and he knows what toys are there. He doesn't really ask for much. Usually I'm the one that offers something up to him, because he's around toys like his entire life. He comes down here, we have Pops everywhere. We have Marvel Legends everywhere. So it isn't like he's on any shortage for a toy.
Right.
Sometimes he acts like it. Kids love new things.
That's right.
So let me ask, do you think that I'm noticing more and more of that, especially when like little kids come into the store, they're like shocked by it all? You think that has more to do with the fact that Toys R Us is just not around, and there's just not an abundant, like you can't walk into a place and be like, oh my God, this is just full of toys. Like when you go to Walmart, you got 4 aisles, right? Like
Absolutely. I think I definitely think that has a lot to do with it. If you remember, like, and of course you do, because how old are you?
I'm 35.
Oh, okay. So I'm a little older than you. So when I was growing up, and we had these toy stores and stuff. You had your commercials for the toy stores. Jeffrey the Giraffe. You had KB toy stores. So almost anywhere you went, a toy store was nearby. And of course, you see a lot of screaming kids being dragged out of them. Nowadays, you go to Walmart and Target, and if you want to dodge the toys, you can. You don't have to take your kids to them. They don't even know you're at the store to see any toys. So yeah, I think when they come into a toy store like yours and their mind's blown, it's because they've really never witnessed anything like that before.
Right, and we didn't have the internet to know what was coming out and what day it was being released. Like we would go to a toy store and be like, "Oh wow, they came out with this." We didn't know, unless it was in the big book. Absolutely,
no, you're on point with that. It's weird nowadays. It's even changed, I would say, within when we started collecting. I remember one of the Pops I really wanted. I remember hearing about a glow-in-the-dark Hulk for Age of Ultron Funko Pop. And I remember I called every single day at Hot Topic, and they couldn't tell me. They didn't know anything. There was nothing really posted up around the internet. I couldn't find any news about when this Hulk was going to pop. And then one day, randomly, it dropped at the Hot Topic store, and I was able to go and grab it. Nowadays, you have Pop Finder Tracker. You have what is the one that the Brick Seek. I mean, you're going to know when a toy is going to drop, when it's going to be there, and everything else. And it's shocking.
Yeah, it's just different. And who have stores like I do, where it's a little nostalgia for you, but you get to share that with your children.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, my son, what makes me really proud with him is that he loves Transformers. And when I was growing up, Transformers was like the thing. Aside from G.I. Joe, those are like my 2 top things as a kid. And he loves Transformers these days. He collects Transformers. He plays with them. And it's not even just nostalgic for me. It's just interesting to see that he is liking something. He's picking something up that I picked up as a kid and likes exactly the same thing. You know what I mean? It's just kind of weird that he and I gravitate toward the same thing.
Well, now there's 27 lines of Transformers.
It's remarkable.
It's ridiculous.
They released a new film on Netflix, and the film on Netflix, it's the most interesting thing I've ever seen Transformers do. They have made a TV show that depict the Transformer like it does in the toy form, and when it transforms, it looks like the toy version as well. Like the Transformer has like these big things hanging off of it, because when you transform one in real life, the toy, that's kind of has all these pieces hanging off. They made it look exactly like the toy that you hold in your hand, and I think that's brilliant.
Right.
Because I remember as a kid having these Transformers, and I'm like, this doesn't look like what it looks on. It doesn't look like the TV version. What is this?
Right. And it's funny because you said you're a little bit older than me. For me, Transformer, it was Turtles. Like, I was just a little past the Transformer stuff.
Yeah, so I'm not much older than you. I turned 37 this year. Transformers, I don't know how that happened. I remember being a kid and being obsessed with Transformers. My parents didn't buy me a lot of them because they were always very expensive. However, Turtles was a big one for me. I'm right there with you with the Turtles. I love the Turtles. Did you have the same experience that you got the Nintendo Ninja Turtles game and you wanted to throw your Nintendo out the window?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have an arcade cabinet in the store that's modded, and I tried to play it when I first got it, and now that I know other words in the English language, it was it's the seaweed. I don't get it.
Yeah, exactly. See, this guy knows what I'm talking about, Heather.
I watched the guy beat it one night at a party, though. It's doable. He showed me Shredder. I'm like, I didn't even know Shredder was in this game.
Yeah, I remember playing it as a kid, and I was like, "What? Why did somebody even buy this for me for my birthday?" It was the worst birthday gift like I've ever received. It was horrible.
And
You
everybody
probably
had the
asked
game.
for it.
I did ask for it,
Exactly.
but I got it, and it was complete garbage. Do you, by any chance, do you guys do any mystery boxes?
We don't. We've discussed it a couple times, but there's a lot of places out there that do mystery boxes very well.
Sure.
And I kind of let them do their thing. Like the guys at Toy USA.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, they're out of Orlando. I met those guys at MegaCon. And it's hard. Mystery boxes, it's a niche thing.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
I can't imagine like putting that together and expecting like everyone to be happy, because you have to let some people down, and that would really bother me.
It's hard enough to make everybody happy when they're buying what they want.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more on that. I can't imagine what the backlash is from some of these folks who buy the mystery boxes with the expectation that no matter how many they buy, they're definitely getting a grail. And it's because we've talked to Wes at Poppin' Off Toys, and he says some people get really angry. So what he does is he types out this very long like explanation, like don't get upset if you don't get what you want. This is a gamble. Blah 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 blah. Because people really like backlash over that.
Yeah, I mean, I get it though. Some of those things are what $300-$400 boxes out there. Like,
Yes.
hell risk.
I know. It's crazy. And, Wes, on the other hand, he'll sell boxes for like $15 shipped. And then, he'll have 100 boxes, and then you have like one very big grail. He's done that a couple of times. But that's, it's a tough business because you can't make everybody happy. Speaking of not making everybody happy, do you get people inside your store who get like all worked up over not being able to get something, or somebody buys something before them and all that kind of jazz?
Yeah, not so much anymore. When we first, we had a large pop collection last spring that we took in. It was a big Game of Thrones right before the season finale. And learning experience, we were allowing people to claim the product.
Ooh.
And we got bombarded in 2 minutes the second we posted it.
Oh my.
So we retracted from that, and we said, hey, you know what? We're just not able to handle this, so we're just going to make them all available on the same day in store. Problem was, we had to honor the few people that we answered the phone for.
Oh boy.
And of course, the first customer that walked in wanted the pop that we told the guy on the phone that they could have. So, and then they were very upset that they thought it was for me. They were trying to accuse me of taking them. Like, I don't. I was like, it's not mine. I mean, I've got to do what's right, but it was kind of a no-win.
Oh.
So do you own any Funko Pops yourself by any chance?
You see, I did before I came here, I worked for a cable company, and my desk was full of them. Out of box, though. And
Okay.
now you look back and you're like, oh, why did I do that? Like, the full original Turtles line, all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
But the only Pops that are in the house now, I do think there's a blue X-Men Deadpool in my bedroom. I think that's it.
That's awesome.
That is so random.
Yeah.
It's random, and I think it's on my wife's dresser. It's not even like...
Well, so you've mentioned your wife a couple of times. Is she is she collecting anything? Is she into any of the toy stuff?
Yes, she collects an out-of-box blue Deadpool.
That's right.
Right. Big Harry Potter fan.
This one right here too. She loves the Harry Potter.
So she's got all first editions downstairs.
Wow.
Bonds. She just got a tattoo of Harry Potter. Yeah, she's, our daughter's dressed in Harry Potter all the time.
Aww.
Probably is right now. I don't know. They just tried to come in the room, and I gave them a look. So.
Well, Heather's going to have to know before this is over. What is it? What school are they in, or what is that?
No,
what is it?
Hogwarts is a school. Everyone
Right.
goes to Hogwarts that you're thinking of.
Right.
What house is she in?
Oh, that's what it is. What house?
Gryffindor all the way.
Well.
No, I like Gryffindor.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I like everybody. Everybody has
Like our
different traits.
wedding, we had cupcakes that had colors inside of them to represent what house you were in.
Oh my God.
So,
That's awesome.
I'm trying to think what else. I mean, the whole house is themed in Harry Potter one way or another. Like our baby, we did a baby shoot. It was Harry Potter.
I like
That's
that.
awesome. So are you a Harry Potter fan yourself?
No.
Oh. Nice. Good answer.
I've watched them. I mean, I participate. I enjoy it, but I'm definitely not.
You're not tattoo eating cake to correlate with the color of your house fanatic.
Like the Vera Bradley Harry Potter blanket that we have, like all that. Like, no.
So, getting back to some of the questions I have here, I don't know if we really got into this or not. Or do you have any expectations to sell higher end collectibles such as Hot Toys and sideshow kind of pieces?
Yeah, so we do have an account with them. The one real difficult thing with Sideshow and Hot Toys is it's like a 9-month to like a year lead time.
Yep.
So like it's so hard because stuff sells out so fast for the wholesale side. So we're starting to get the Endgame statues from Iron Studios.
Nice.
Which is distributed by Sideshow.
Yeah.
And then so that stuff's starting to trickle in now, and then we'll start seeing like I think the Pennywise Hot Toys. I think we got some Star Wars coming in next week.
Awesome.
It's going to start trickling in now, which is nice, especially with the new store. But I'm still not going to, like, even the new store, I'm still a year out from kind of accounting for it.
Sure.
Order-wise.
Do you sell more of the Funko Pops on your online store?
Online is a lot of wrestling.
Okay, so more wrestling.
And the pop drops. So with Mattel, we've always ordered from their domestic distribution, but now we're ordering from their international from Hong Kong.
Okay.
So we're going to get the product sooner now. So our online business for WWE is going to pick up.
That's awesome. I notice a lot of other stores doing this, and I'm wondering if you do. And I some people look down on this, and I don't know why. But do you guys go out and pick up exclusives from other places and bring them to your store and sell them out of your store?
When I had the small store, yes, because I had to do what I had to do.
Sure.
Now I don't really bother with it. I kind of let the area do its thing, and I always end up with it one way or another on a trade. So I don't really seek this stuff out that much. I mean, I shouldn't say absolutely no, but most of the time, no.
So you guys do trades?
Yeah. Yep, we do trade credit or we do cash now as well.
So people will oftentimes bring in, like you mentioned the turtles, the NECA cartoon turtles. Is that something that somebody brings it in and does a trade, and now it's in your hands?
Yeah, some of it. That stuff, like, it's really my customers. My customers are great. So, like, I have a few customers that I'm close with, and they knew I was going to carry that line, or I wanted to start collecting it. And they texted me, like, hey, I'm at Target. I found it. You want it? And then they grab it for me.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
But yeah, we have some customers have figured out the system. Like, they know, I mean, I know you're not big wrestling people, but the AEW figures just came out, and people saw them in Walmart. It's a Walmart exclusive, and they grabbed them, and knowing that I was going to give them a bigger trade value for it than what they paid, and they just turned it and bought something that they did want with it.
That's awesome. Well, it helps, it helps everybody.
They're starting to do that now. That's really starting to take effect.
That's cool. So your online store, what can people find? I kind of want to go into that for a second. What can people find on your online store? I mean, is it literally everything that you sell in your store is online?
Yeah, so all of the Albany inventory and the warehouse inventory is on the website. Lake George is separate because it's seasonal. And then Holyoke, when we open that store, that will also be available online. So we have the option to do like a pickup in store if everything's in one location. So it's all there. Like we have a warehouse that's connected to our store in the mall that we work out of. That's pop heaven for most people.
Sure.
And then, that's where we process everything. And then the stores, everything that's there, it's all online.
That's awesome. People are in the chat asking where your stores are located. They're showing up a little late.
Oh, sure. So we have a store in Albany, New York, and then we have a store in Lake George, New York. They're about an hour apart. And then we're opening another location in Holyoke, Mass. And I really haven't said much of this, but I'll throw it out there. Why not? We are going to Southern Jersey tomorrow for like a work vacation and looking at some options for next summer.
Awesome. Now, with these stores that now you have them all over the place, is it something like you take like weekends or something and you or weekdays and travel around and go see your stores and all that kind of stuff? Is that tough?
Right now, no. I can see how it's going to become difficult real quick.
Yeah.
For me, Lake George, I grew up there, and it's only an hour straight north of here, so it's kind of enjoyable to go. I kind of go see my mom or my grandparents or whatever. But we'll see. With Massachusetts now, which I never went that direction ever, it'll be interesting. Like I'm sure that I'll be in Mass for a day, I'll be in Lake George for a day, I'll be in Albany for a day.
Sure. Yeah. That's a lot of work, man. That's a huge undertaking, but good for you, man. That's awesome. And so all of your stores, do they kind of have the same kind of setup in them, or are they all like you'd mentioned before? You want people to come in and ooh and ah a bit. Is that what your plan is for the rest of your stores that you're opening?
Any of my full-time year-round stores, that's the goal. Seasonal stores are a little different, just because you can't just take a replica Lightning McQueen and just throw it in a seasonal store.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, the whole thought is, I mean, you probably know this, like, so Blockbuster, you remember going into Blockbuster when we were kids and you'd go in the back and you could sit on a couch and watch the TV, like the movies?
I do. I remember that.
We both remember that, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the experience I'm looking to create, where I want you to be able to sit down, like we have lounge chairs in Albany, so you can just sit down, watch the 75-inch television.
That's awesome.
The Spider-Man cartoon that's on, all that kind of stuff. Like I said, it's not just shopping, it's an experience. It's hiring people that are knowledgeable, trying even, I know people who didn't collect a single thing, and now they're collecting a line because we introduced them to it.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but that's because they've just, obviously they wanted to,
Yeah. Sure.
Do about it.
Sure.
Yeah, they wouldn't have known about it if it weren't for you. That's pretty cool. We have a pretty interesting question in the chat. I know that Funko isn't your big seller at the moment, but it sounds like it's slowly maybe inching its way up. Snowden asked, do you do out-of-box trades? And if so, how do you price them?
So, we don't.
Okay.
There's not really a market for it up here. I would never rule it out. I think it would be cool to have, like I do with WWE loose product. I throw it in a bin, and then, you sort through it and dig through it and take what you want, at a flat price. I think that'd be kind of cool to do for Funko, but it's just very few people ask about it. Yeah, I don't know. Like, when we get them, we hide them throughout the store. And we put them in little spots.
That is really cool.
That is cool.
We do that. So you never know. Like when I think we have a rock pop right now that's hidden. That just they're all around.
That's cool.
That is really, really neat that you do that.
Makes it fun that people can come in and and hunt and stuff like that. We have a store local here that they will put out the Chase Funko Pops, and they kind of hide them. And they sell them at cost, but they'll hide them around the store. I always thought that was kind of cool, too.
I've always wanted to do that, too. My problem with that is we do so many pre-orders for the Chases.
Sure.
That, I don't have the ability to do that because people are kind of paying a premium price to get the Chase.
Right.
I see.
you know. But like I've thought about that. Like I've really been debating like whether or not doing that would be beneficial.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it really depends if you gauge your the people that are coming in there and buying Funko Pops, if it's something that they'd be interested in doing. I mean, because nowadays you're right with the Chase Funko Pops. Typically, people are just buying bundles and making sure they get it right, so it doesn't really matter anymore.
Yeah, and we don't do the bundles. Like I don't do that. So what another thing that we're kind of unique for, and not it's kind of like $7 a pop because we do sell them for $7, but we do like a 3 for 15 deal on pops that are 7 or like 5 to 7 or $5 to $8, and we have them center in the store, they're right there, and people clean up on it all the time. They buy 3 for 15. So what we do with the chases a lot of times is we sell the chases 25 to 30 pre-order, and then we throw all those pops in the $7 rack.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's cool. Because people come in there with a couple bucks. They might have a couple of Funko Pops that they need to finish their collections, and $15 gets them to finish maybe a collection or something. That's a neat idea.
Yep.
Wow. Well, so this has been cool, and it'd be nice to get back together and do some more chatting with you in the future. Maybe talk about when your next store goes online and all that kind of jazz. In the chat section, we've actually had people, or mods rather, Zach Bonifer. Thank you, Zach. He's been posting Heroes Hideout, your web store. He posted your Instagram. So for all of you guys out there, go and follow Heroes Hideout because you're going to want to know what they're doing and all their new stores opening in the future. And if they're close by, you should totally go and check them out because it sounds like they have a pretty good spread of collectibles there.
Yep. Yeah, and we have our biggest pop drops coming up in the next couple weeks that we've ever done.
Excellent.
Ooh,
That's
yeah,
cool.
you guys do some pretty good ones.
There's some super rare stuff coming up that I think he may have teased it, but the ad icon. Oh no, I don't. Well, whatever. So the ad icon pop drop that we're doing for Tuesday is pretty awesome.
Okay,
Ooh,
interesting. So ad icon on Tuesday. So that's that. Okay, well I'll be looking out for that myself. Do you buy? So do you find yourself or you guys buying huge collections quite often?
We're trying.
Yeah.
We've come across a couple good ones so far. Hopefully, with the branching out the stores, we'll start bigger network for it, and it allows us to even buy bigger collections because then we have these other stores to disperse the other product, like more of the $10 to $15 stuff.
Sure.
That you typically wouldn't sell on a pop drop.
Awesome. Well, we'll keep our eyes out for the big pop drop you're doing on Tuesday because I want to see what you got on the ad icons.
Cool. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, I bet it is. Well, listen, man, it's been awesome having you. Thank you for coming on and hanging out with us. Go and make sure you check out Heroes Hideout. See what they got going on over on their Instagram. Go check out their page. Buy a couple things over there. Maybe you'll find a collectible that you really need or dig. Go and check it out right now. There's a link right there in the comment section. Yeah, man. So thanks for coming on. We'll have you on again. We'll talk about it a little bit more. Maybe next time you open up a new place, we'll have you back on. We'll talk a little bit about that.
Sounds good, guys. Thanks.
All right, man. Take care. All right.
Thank you.
Later. All right, guys. Wow, that was awesome. So that was Stephen Duckett of Heroes Hideout, and Heroes Hideout is obviously it sounds like an awesome store. Kind of wish they had one in our local area so we could go and see it. Maybe one of these days, if Heather and I decide to travel again after COVID, because who knows what the heck is going on with that, we can go up there and see it for ourselves. Wow. So somebody mentioned earlier, I can't remember who it was, but they mentioned, hey, did the Walking Dead guy cancel? No. Walking Dead guy comes on. His name is Moses J. Mosley. He'll be on with us next Wednesday at 8 p.m., and we'll be chatting with him all things Walking Dead, talk about his career, talk about some things that he has been doing. He was in the Watchmen TV show as a background character. So I kind of want to just talk to him about what it's like on the set, because I'm very interested in film stuff and TV stuff. So that's going to be an interesting interview.
I got some other questions for him. And yeah, unlike all of our other interviews, I think you need to do a little bit of this so I can do a little bit of this. Yeah,
okay. We'll see if you talk. A lot of folks were here during our live on Sunday. And I just want to reach back out and let you know, because I don't know, a lot of people have been reaching out to me, and I just want to tell you that I really appreciate you guys. For folks who watch our channel and watch our videos and stuff, it means a lot when you reach out and ask me how I'm doing as far as like my mom is going. And just so you know, we had a huge breakthrough yesterday. My father was finally able to visit my mom in the hospital. And when she saw my dad, it was almost like it's like everything came back to her. Her memory started coming back. I mentioned on Sunday that she had some really bad seizures right before hip surgery, and things really went wacky. And in fact, I really thought I was going to lose my mom, and it was a really scary time for me. So yesterday, everything kind of coming back together was so super exciting for my family. And I talked to her on the phone yesterday, and she sounded in such great spirits. And in fact, it's gotten so great that it sounds as if she might even be coming home as early as tomorrow. So we're really excited about that as a family. This is totally unexpected. So this is great. And we just wanted to let you guys, give you an update of what's going on and what has happened. So, because I know a lot of you have been asking me about it and wondering maybe. So I wanted you to know everything's cool now. So thank you for all the well wishes and prayers that you've possibly been throwing out there. We really, really appreciate that. Because it was a tough time. So aside from that, the pin boards. So I'm not too sure about what's going on with the pin boards, but I assume that there's a bunch of people out there who are interested in the Ghastly pin boards. I'm hoping to have them sooner rather than later. I wanted to put them up this week, but things kind of got derailed with what was going on with my mom. So I've got to talk to our good buddies, Jake and Jacques, and figure out how we're going to play out the pin boards. And then I'm thinking about Series 2 of the pins, either doing them or doing a glow in the dark. I think I might do Series 2 first so we can get those Series 2 pins out there to you guys. I don't know how we're going to do the drop this time. I have been looking into online like Shopify sites to sell them there instead of doing it where it was so backward when we did it through PayPal. Although it did go fine with PayPal, it's just really, it's a hard thing to do. It's hard to keep everything straight. So we will give you guys more information very soon in regards to what's happening with the next pin set. John Page. No, I did. So I haven't checked the P.O. box in the last couple of days. I'll go up there. Yep. So John Page, I just want to let you guys know how great John Page is. Great guy. When SDCC happened, I completely passed on the Nightcrawler from X-Men figure.
Yeah, I don't know why you did that.
Well, it was one from the film, and I thought to myself, I'm not going to collect the pops from the X-Men films. I'm not a huge fan of them. But when I started to see the Funko Pop and people out of boxing them, I was like, man, I really could kick myself in the butt for not buying this thing. So John and I were discussing it, and he reached out and he said, hey man, I got one, and I'll help you out, and he's sending it for free. And I didn't want him to do that.
John.
I wanted to do something for him, and I will eventually. I'll hook John up in one way or shape or another. But John, thank you so much for doing that. And I just want to throw this out there. It's oftentimes that you guys reach out and you offer to help. In fact, tonight we mentioned in our newest video, if you haven't watched it, go and check it out. Our newest video is about today's Halloween drop, and holy crap, wasn't that interesting? Totally unexpected. I didn't see that coming at all. In that video, we mentioned that one of our friends actually helped us out with a Freddy Funko Frankenstein Funko Pop, which blew my mind. I couldn't even believe that somebody would reach out and offer that. He ended up buying 2 of them. So Rob, if you're watching or listening, we really appreciate you, man. That's way above and beyond. I mean, seriously, that's so cool that you did that. That was the only one I couldn't get while I was buying stuff online today. To be honest with you, I was trying to scoop up more than usual on the drop today, because it's nice to have giveaway items. So I was trying to get stuff for giveaways, but that just it all completely backfired on me altogether. So that was really a big mess. And then additionally, our good pal Carl, who lives on the West Coast, reached out to me today, and he got me the 5-pack McDonald's set from Funko HQ, because he lives nearby. So big thanks to Carl for doing that. You're such an awesome guy. He's helped me out on a couple of other occasions. He's come through for me a lot. So really appreciate you for doing that, Carl. You're the man. And here I am just spewing all my thank yous to everybody. But it's right now is the time to be thankful because everything, with my mom being straightened out, I just have so much stress that's lifted off me. I feel so good right now. I can't even explain it. Don't blame me if he gets out and escapes your P.O. box, John says about the Nightcrawler. Yeah, I hope not. That would freak me out if a little weird Funko Pop Nightcrawler is chasing me around the P.O. That would be scary. Anyway, listen, that was it. We have new videos coming your way. I do want to let you know in advance, as I always do. I'm always the one that just spoils everything. I have a new video coming tomorrow that is about the band Ghost. I'm not going to give you any insight on what it's about, but I would just tell you that it was a very fun video to make, and I hope you guys really enjoy that. But I'm hoping Friday is the big video of the week for me. I will give you insight on this one.
No, not too much.
I bought a hot toy, and let's just say I'm having to return the hot toy for an entirely different figure because things didn't work out between both of us. So me and the hot toy.
It wasn't you. It was
the hot toy.
Yeah.
So I had a really bad experience with the hot toy. And what sucked is that it happened right in the middle of all my stress and anxiety that was going on. And I looked at Heather and I was just like, I am done. I am finished. I'm done with all this crap. So I'm returning him and getting something new. So hopefully you'll get a new video about that on Friday. My frustrations will be completely out in the open. And then eventually you'll see a new video with the new hot toy that I got in his place. So that'll be a lot of fun. All right. So we will be back on Wednesday. We will be back on Sunday, rather, with our good pal, Jason Swoboda, where we will have Heroic Nonsense Podcast and talk about all things Funko Pop, the normal jazz that you guys are, and love. And then we'll be back on Wednesday with Moses J. Mosley from Walking Dead. So it's going to be really a whole lot of fun. Again, a big thank you to Steven Duckett, who came on tonight from Heroes Hideout. Such a great guy. Seems to be doing really big things, opening a lot of stores, which is impressive. Can't wait to see one of those stores in person one day. So that's it. Guys, remember, as always, we are together. Be nice to each other for the rest of the week. And let's hope for an awesome weekend. Heather, your turn. Remember, as always, we're all together. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.